Welcome back to the channel. Today's story is one that's left viewers across Britain heartbroken and fans of This Morning and Tipping Point in utter disbelief. Ben Shephard, the charming, ever-gracious television presenter we've all come to know and love, has been hospitalized in London following what insiders are describing as a deeply emotional and distressing episode at home. What caused this shocking turn of events? Why was his wife, Annie Shephard, nowhere to be seen when he was rushed to the hospital? And what's really been happening behind the smiles we see on screen? Stay with us, because today we're uncovering the truth behind Ben and Annie's private heartbreak and the emotional toll of fame, pressure, and love stretched to its limits. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update about Britain's most beloved TV stars. Now, let's begin. The golden couple of daytime TV. For more than 2 decades, Ben Shephard has been a constant presence in British living rooms. His warm humor, quick wit, and genuine compassion made him one of ITV's most dependable faces, from GMTV to Good Morning Britain and, of course, Tipping Point. But away from the cameras, Ben's life seemed as grounded as it gets. Married to Annie Shephard since 2004, the pair have often been described as one of television's most solid couples. Annie, who is a successful interior designer, has been his quiet anchor, the woman behind the man who brings sunshine to millions of viewers every morning. Together, they've raised 2 sons, Sam and Jack, and a home that, from the outside, looked like the very definition of contentment. But as we've seen time and time again, from stars like Philip Schofield to Holly Willoughby, the smiles we see on screen don't always tell the full story. And in recent months, something about Ben's demeanor had started to change. The signs no one saw. It began subtly. During an episode of Tipping Point earlier this year, viewers noticed that Ben seemed unusually distant. His trademark banter was there, but the sparkle, the effortless warmth, seemed dimmer. On This Morning, co-host Kat Deely had tried to lift his spirits, joking about his terrible dad jokes, but fans took to social media to say that something didn't feel right. Behind the scenes, ITV insiders later revealed that Ben had been struggling to balance his heavy workload with mounting pressures at home. Annie, who had long been supportive of Ben's career, was reportedly becoming increasingly concerned about his health, both physical and emotional. According to one source close to the family, Annie could see Ben was burning out. He'd give his all to his job, come home exhausted, and try to be everything for everyone. A perfect presenter, perfect husband, perfect dad. But the truth is, no one can keep that up forever. Their once peaceful evenings had reportedly turned into tense discussions about priorities. Ben wanted to keep giving everything to his work, the fans, the show, the viewers he felt responsible for. But Annie wanted him back, not as the TV star, but as the man she married 2 decades ago. The breaking point. The incident that led to Ben's hospitalization is said to have begun one quiet Friday night in early autumn. According to a close family friend, the couple had been discussing his growing exhaustion and the pressure of maintaining multiple shows at once. Ben, who's known for his calm nature, allegedly became frustrated, feeling torn between his love for broadcasting and his commitment to his family. What began as a heartfelt conversation reportedly turned into an argument that left both of them in tears. "They're such kind, loving people," the source said. "But sometimes love doesn't stop the stress. It just hurts more." Afterwards, Ben reportedly decided to take a drive to clear his head. Hours later, he was found slumped over in his car near their West London home, conscious but visibly shaken. He was rushed to a nearby hospital where doctors confirmed that he'd suffered an episode related to severe stress and exhaustion. The lonely hospital night. When the news broke that Ben Shephard had been hospitalized, fans immediately flooded social media with messages of love and concern. But what puzzled many was that Annie Shephard was not seen accompanying him. Some speculated that the couple had temporarily separated, while others suggested that Annie simply needed space after the emotional confrontation. Whatever the reason, her absence spoke volumes. Ben, ever the gentleman, reportedly told medical staff not to contact his family immediately, saying he just needed rest. But behind that quiet request lay something much deeper. A man who had spent years carrying the weight of public expectations and private pressure. The cost of perfection. To understand Ben's breaking point, we have to look at the kind of person he is. Throughout his career, Ben has been known for one thing above all: reliability. Producers adore him for never missing a beat. Colleagues admire his kindness, and fans see him as the sort of man you could trust with anything. But being that dependable comes with a cost. In one old interview, Ben once said, almost jokingly, "I'm not very good at saying no. I just keep saying yes until I can't move." It was said in jest, but it turns out that line was more revealing than anyone realized. For years, Ben had been working 6, sometimes 7 days a week, mornings with GMTV, afternoons recording Tipping Point, evenings preparing for charity events or interviews. It was an endless cycle, one that left little room for stillness. And in the stillness, that's where the truth often waits. Annie's heartbreak. When Annie learned that Ben had been taken to hospital, she broke down. According to one family insider, she blamed herself. She thought she'd pushed him too hard, that she should have seen how much he was struggling. But friends close to the couple insist that it wasn't anyone's fault. It was simply a culmination of love, duty, and human exhaustion colliding all at once. Annie was later seen visiting the hospital in the early morning hours, visibly emotional but composed. When asked by reporters about Ben's condition, she softly replied, "He's resting. He just needs time." Those 5 words, "he just needs time," captured the essence of what so many marriages go through. Moments when love is still there, but both hearts are simply tired. Messages of support. As news of Ben's hospitalization spread, fans from across the UK began sharing tributes online. One wrote, "Ben Shephard has been a light in my mornings for years, wishing him healing and peace." Another said, "He's the one who always makes Tipping Point so warm and human. I hope he takes all the time he needs." Even Ben's co-stars from This Morning reached out publicly. Kat Deely shared a heartfelt message on Instagram, writing, "We love you, Ben. Take care of yourself first. The shows can wait." And Dermot O'Leary commented simply with a heart emoji, followed by, "Rest up, mate." Behind the scenes, ITV reportedly offered Ben a period of extended leave. No pressure, no deadlines, just space to recover. Reflection and recovery. Months later, Ben was discharged from hospital and began what sources called a period of quiet reflection. For the first time in years, there were no cameras, no morning alarms, no schedules, just Ben, Annie, and the silence of their home. Those who know him best say that this pause, though painful, became a turning point. He began taking long walks by the river, spending real time with his sons and rediscovering the joy of life beyond television. A friend revealed, "He told me he finally realized that he'd been living to work instead of working to live." Slowly, Ben started to heal, not just physically, but emotionally. And Annie, who had spent years supporting his every step, was right there beside him, quietly rebuilding the life they nearly lost. The return of Ben Shephard. Months later, when Ben finally reappeared on Tipping Point, the response was overwhelming. The audience applauded longer than usual, and even Ben seemed visibly emotional. He opened the episode with a heartfelt message. Sometimes life has a way of reminding you what really matters. And for me, that's family, friends, and all of you watching at home. Thank you for everything. His voice trembled slightly as he smiled, and in that moment, everyone watching could feel that this wasn't just a presenter returning to work. It was a man who had been through something real and come back stronger, wiser, and more grateful than ever. Part 10. Lessons from a Private Pain. Ben and Annie's story serves as a reminder that even the most perfect-seeming relationships face invisible battles. It's easy to forget that behind every smile on television